Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
You are higher than I. You are higher than I. Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for our TNA Slammiversary 2025 preview, breaking down this Sunday show from Long Island, New York, one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year for TNA wrestling. So, of course, I had to be joined by two experts when it comes to TNA. You know them from the Fightful post show every Thursday talking about TNA Impact. First up, we got also the co-host over on In the Weeds, your man that's always in the weeds, and of course, the Crips' favorite Canadian, Joe Pearl. How are you doing?
You know what's funny about this? When you asked me to do this show, you did not tell me that this was going to be a three-person hang here. And I wasn't told about this. So will I be here the whole time? Well, it depends on the conversation. I'm glad to be here. This is the only channel, I said it every time I come here. It's the only channel outside of the one that I run that I come to. This is the one I enjoy. So I'm here and I'm going to enjoy myself.
We appreciate you, Joel. We appreciate you always. That is why you're the Crips' favorite Canadian. This is a running bit on whenever you're on this channel that we have to bring up how G. Loke certified you as a friendly Canadian to the Crips in the Bronx.
It's always appreciated.
Yes. But yes, we have also the one and only. It feels like it was so long ago that she joined us on the channel. It was just last week where we had the funnest time ever. So she has a lot to live up to after that Evolution Saturday Night's Main Event and Great American Bash preview, where she gave a total of 0 out of 10 for her anticipation for 2 events. It is the one and only co-host from the TNA post-show TikTok Twitch extraordinaire, Cresta Starr is here.
Hi, everybody. In my defense, the shows I did watch, I had a fantastic time. I didn't watch the shows I gave a 0. I'm happy to be here with the expert, the lovely, the illustrious Joe Pearl, who loves me to death and cannot wait to host another 2-hour show with me.
Got a heart out, brother.
There you go. There you have it. But yes, we're here to talk about some TNA Slammiversary. Huge show. Going to be one of their largest crowds of the year in the UBS Arena in Long Island, New York. So You know the deal. Y'all know what to do. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. You show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on this video. You can share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, you can sound off in the comment section if you're watching us on demand. If you're with us live, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you and hear your thoughts, your predictions on TNA Slammiversary. We'll try to highlight on screen as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to have your comment read on screen, you can send a super chat donation. Goes a long way to help the channel grow and move forward. So we always appreciate the support. You got Brandon Brown, who's very excited about today's news. And some people on our panel knew about this for a week. He's going to brag about it. But it was announced today that TNA is officially bringing on one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT of TNA wrestling. AJ Styles will appear at TNA Slammiversary. What did y'all think about the teaser that they dropped on yesterday's Impact? And what did you think that it did a good job for anybody that doesn't have social media, which it's rare that it happens, but there's probably some people that don't have social media and just have that as their hint that AJ's going to show up. What did you think, Joe?
They did the Marvel ending. I like that. My first question was, do they just carry around the rebrand box everywhere they go? And they just wait for the rebrand box to like start bubbling and open up. There's a YouTuber right now that a lot of people know about. His name's Ryan Trahan, and he's doing 50 states in 50 days, and he's raising money for St. Jude Hospital. Part of his road trip is that he's got this giant box called the Wheel of Doom, where if someone donates a certain amount, the Wheel of Doom goes off, and he has to do this thing. He's with his wife, so he and his wife have to like complete this task. This is like TNA's Wheel of Doom. The Wheel of Doom went off, and they decided that AJ Styles is coming back. And I thought it was well done. They started it on Monday when Carlos Silva tweeted out the phenomenal tweet, and from there it only built. And it would have been promotional malpractice not to get us there. By this morning, they had put out the tweet that it's official. AJ Styles will be there. I thought they did a really good job of doing that last week push to get fans invested and interested in going to the show. And now, last week when I wanted to look for a flight to New York, was $250 return. Now, if I look, it's like $450. That's not because of AJ. That's just because it's last minute.
Because of AJ.
Blame AJ. Blame AJ.
That's fine. Listen, that his flat Earth can only get me so far.
I was gonna say there's a flat Earth joke in there somewhere, but far be it for me to say it. Shout outs to Joe Pearl.
I'll go there.
What do you think about this week-long push to bring back AJ Styles and get more people in the building? Like I said, they've opened up new seats. It's going to be one of their most attended events of the year, Cresta.
I have to tell you, since I started watching TNA, more specifically since I started covering it with Joe Pearl, the main thing I would say, they've been doing Styles Clash, mentioning AJ Styles. You've been throwing it in a summoning circle to get AJ Styles, and now AJ Styles is here. You had even AJ Francis do it. AJ Francis. I'm like, okay, but you got to bring in AJ Styles at some point, and now he's here. I like AJ Styles in ring. I think whoever he wrestles, we're gonna get a phenomenal match. No pun and pun intended. That being said, it would be quite TNA if he came down just to say something and leave. I think I'd be miffed. I'd be very upset. I'm trying to think of another SAT word to describe my dismay. But knowing, again, TNA, this is the most likely outcome. But hey, I'll be happy to see AJ Styles and TNA. Look, we might even get Samosif Joseph one time. Who knows? Who knows?
I don't doubt that.
Listen,
maybe a Robert Roode.
AJ Styles said he would never come back to TNA again, and here we are.
Yeah, and Tony Khan also said, I don't really care to work with TNA anymore, so here we are.
CM Punk said, I would never go back to WWE. F those guys and your blood money, Saudi-covered dick or whatever the hell, and look where he was at. I hate to sound like this, but never say never in wrestling.
CM Punk imploded on himself and realized he had nowhere else to go.
It doesn't matter. It's still proven to play. It doesn't matter.
I'll play this game all damn day.
These are all true. These are all true statements that's being said. But yes, we got to talk about that. We're going to talk about much more, but y'all know how we do on these pay-per-view previews. We'll start with you, Cresta, because you started us off strong last time you were on a pay-per-view preview. 0 to 10, what is your anticipation level for TNA Slammiversary 2025?
What if I told you it was 100 and I actually mean it this time?
And you can only choose 2 of the numbers.
And this time it'll be 10. I'm legitimately excited about it. I'm legit. Okay, jokes aside, personally speaking, this is from me, from the heart. TNA is how I got started in this whole business, how I met you two, how I met so many of my wrestling friends. From crapping on it to seeing from whence it came, from where the peaks, the valleys, the low, I'm legitimately excited about this. It's my first TNA show. I'm prepared mentally for the shenanigans. I've seen a man get shot, a person get bit, someone go through a door, never come back. I've seen someone get battery acid on them, get hit by a car. At this point, TNA, you could take Mike Santana from me, but I know what I'm walking into. I'm going with my friends. And again, I got to meet so many cool people because of TNA regardless. So I'm legitimately excited about this. There could be bad things on this show, but it's TNA. I'm expecting this. It's not like it's WWE where it's like, we don't make flops and then you come out with a chancla. It's 2 flip-flops on a foot. I'm expecting this. So I'm going into it with that mind. So I legitimately mean a 10. I get to see Hendry in person. I get to see Masha Slamovich in person. I get to see Mike Santana wrestle again. Only way this could be better is if Joe Pearl actually shows up, which I don't blame him for not coming because America, we going through something right now. We're a crackhead in a Gucci belt right now. We going through something. I understand.
Crackhead in a Gucci belt.
Yeah. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me when I'm telling lies. So I'm legitimately excited for this. And I don't got to take like an airplane home of shame. I can literally drive home. This is great.
I love that. I love that for you. This is awesome. I didn't even know it was your first TNA event. My first TNA event
my little
was
brother's first TNA event too, and he's the one who got me into this. Like Mr. Meeksies, he dragged me into this.
My first TNA event was in New York as well. It was Hammerstein Ballroom. It was the infamous Bully Ray puts Dixie through a table. That was the first ever TNA event that I went to. Yo, we were living up. We left that building on a high. We were like, oh my God, that's one of the best shows we've ever been to.
TNA spent 5 weeks hyping up that video.
And they didn't hype it up before we went to the event. It was because they taped it a month in advance. That's why.
Y'all were reliving the hype every day. They would get to the point where they're like, next week, Dixie goes through the table. Like they were telling you what they're gonna do, but like we're not airing the footage just yet. You're gonna get it next week. It's like when Kimono Wanalea danced atop the ECW arena. It was that. That's what we were doing. And I remember watching it and just being like, she went through a table. That's all happened. It's okay. Fully just like, I'm euphoric. And we're like, I'm over this.
we went to both of those shows at Hammerside in 2014, where it had that one night, and it also had Hardys versus American Wolves. And then the next show had all the series between Hardys, Dudleys, and American Wolves.
So TNA
the whole series that happened where they were doing they did a table match at 1 hour. They did the 2 out of 3 falls and next, and then the ladder match in the Full Metal Mayhem in the 3rd hour. I was like, I see 3. I've seen Hardy's way too much this week. We were into DJ Zemo at that time as well. Look at that. It was a long time ago. Joe Pearl, 0 to 10, your anticipation level for Slammiversary on Sunday.
2-3 days ago, it would have been 5. I think I'm closer to a 7 now. The AJ stuff was one thing, but it's also really cool to see people get excited for the show. It's really, especially after a couple of shows where, yes, there were PLE plus specials, and people were just kind of like, meh. This is a show that it's pay-per-view. It's a big event for TNA. It's one of their tent poles. The investment is there, so I get a little more excited for it. I don't really have the FOMO, especially now that I'm looking at it. It's $434 to do the flight. So I'd rather just do what I'm going to do in August instead and go to Ottawa, go to C4, and then come back. But anyway, I digress. The opportunity for TNA is gone for now. That being said, yeah, I'm about a 7, and also the matches are looking really good. It's not a perfect card by any means, but there's a lot of really strong stuff I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'll go right in the middle. I'll go with 8 out of 10. I am actually looking forward to TNA. I don't admit it too often, but I do watch TNA weekly, and I do sometimes enjoy it. But this show, I think they've done a good job of hyping it up and making it feel important. And I know there's been the whole controversy: is this the biggest show of the year? Is Bound for Glory the biggest show of the year? They've made it feel like it's their biggest show of the year by doing the big arena, the hype going into it, especially them getting a lot of push on WWE NXT. I think it's gone a long way to what they've been able to produce as far as the ticket sales. What was the ticket sales at so far as of right now?
Close to 5,500. There may be 53.
Okay.
I'm doing the fill answer. I don't care about that.
5,400. So close to 55. They're above. So this was what I've been talking about the entire time. Last year's number was 4,100, just about. They needed 4,101 tickets to make this a success. They're currently on a high. They're working their way up to what is possibly their biggest attendance, which was 7,200 for the Alamo Dome show. It was lockdown 2013. They can have a lot of walk-ups, so we'll see where that lands. But they're projecting the largest amount of people in the building, and they say ever, but then they're also saying the last 10 years. So whatever their verbiage was a little mangled, but that's where we're at. If they beat that record, all power to them.
They feel like the previous TNA iterations are a different company. That's what they kind of talk like. But,
we don't know her. We don't know that TNA. I've never seen her a day in my life.
I mean, I kind of get it to a certain degree. It's like they care about TNA from like 02 to 05, 06, maybe even 07. But then we start getting into the dip period, and then we get into the Hogan period, and then everything takes a nosedive. And then we get into we're going to call it Impact because we sold it to Scott, and like the rebrand period, which really ended up working out for them. And now they're TNA again, and now they're super happy to embrace most of their lineage.
I see TNA kind of like that friend who was addicted to crack in the 90s. Like, you were fun sometimes, but you were also very dangerous. And then they go be a new born again Christian. Like, I don't know that girl. Like, you were literally just, you know what? I'm gonna let you rock. And now they're like, okay, that was me, but I'm healed. God's still working on me. So I support TNA. Like, I get it. I wouldn't want people to know me from that time.
They're the Mark. I'm so white. They are the Mark Maron of professional wrestling.
Who's Mark Maron?
I thought you were gonna say Mark Marrow.
No,
I thought you were gonna say Mark Merrill from Riot Games. Like
Mark Maron, who hosts a podcast called WTF, and he very famously had President Obama on the show. That was one of his claims to fame. But Maron was like a crack addict back in the day, and he's got himself clean over the years, and he's had a very successful podcast, and that's about to come to an end. Not that TNA is about to come to an end, but that people really saw what it was. Well, I mean, listen, you can argue the WWE deal, whatever, not important. With Mark Maron, it's like people really did see what TNA could be, just like they saw what Maron could be once he got sober and found like his voice.
Steve-O.
Yeah. I was gonna say Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. If old boy ever comes back, Charlie Sheen, after that whole Tiger Blood thing, if he ever comes back, like, yo, that's the greatest comeback of all time.
Wait, how many times has TNA done blackface on camera though?
Joel stabbed me right in the heart with that one.
It's like I can't breathe.
Like, is this on par with Wrestle House or what?
It's close.
Wrestle House was just corny, but you spit it. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
So was Robert Downey Jr. doing that?
Hey, Tropical Thunder was a good movie. Anyway,
dude pretended to be a dude who somebody else
disguised as a dude. We talked about it to start, but let's get into this first up. It was the big announcement officially today. AJ Styles returning to TNA. TNA Slammiversary, a celebration of 23 years of the company and what many fans believe is the GOAT. AJ Styles will be returning as part of this multi-year partnership with WWE. He's going to be in Long Island, New York. So without any types of hints, what do you think AJ Styles will do on this show? Is he going to wrestle? Is he going to just appear for a promo? Is he going to interact with anybody? Is he going to come out and is he going to be the Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 9 of Trick Williams wins in the main event, and then he comes in, hits the phenomenal forearm, and wins the TNA World Championship? Will he have his iconic TNA theme song? What do you think, Joe?
I want to start with Cresta. I want to go
Okay.
last in this one.
Okay, Cresta, go ahead.
I have two modes of thinking about this, but I'm going to have fun. One, this is what I want to happen, and what's the most TNA thing that could happen. And also, what's realistically going to happen? He's probably just going to come out and say, I'm getting inducted into the house that I literally built, AJ Styles built, realistically. But I like the most TNA thing that you said was he comes in, interferes in the main event, and he becomes TNA World Champion. That is the most TNA thing you could do. That is because how can I be mad, but also I'm pissed. Realistically, I would like him to mix it up. Maybe a Steve Macklin, someone who's been there. Not Eric Young, respectfully. Not Cody Deaner, respectfully. Maybe like someone from the Rascals. I would love to put him in some sort of program. Realistically, like I said, probably just doing, hey, I'm getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. But TNA, you'd be in the main event and you'd win. And I'd be angry, happy, pissed. I would just go outside and look at the river for a couple of hours.
You would just go outside after the show like, what just happened?
I'd be sports distressed.
My prediction is yes, he should have his TNA theme song. He should not come out to that horrible theme song that he had when he came back in 2024. I like his current theme song, the one he's had since 2016 from WWE. But the Who Am I a theme song is an iconic one. He needs to come out to that. I need to hear that dulcet tones. First that, and then secondly, I think that he's coming out to set up a matchup for Bound for Glory. I don't think he's going to wrestle on this show. If AJ Styles is wrestling, you should announce him as wrestling. I think that this is just a return, and maybe he's interrupted by a dear old friend. No, not Eric Young, but someone else who's been here a very long time, despite taking like a decade off from the company. The king of TNA, Frankie Kazarian.
Brother.
So, I think the match is against Frankie.
Brother.
Jeremy and I talked about this on In the Weed. Watch the video, the promo video that they showed, the teaser at the end of last night's episode of Impact. What was in the case? It was the gear. AJ's coming to wrestle. AJ's coming to work, okay. Brother. That being said, you don't put him in a title match with no build. That just weakens everybody. That's why Macklin really wants that match, but he wasn't going to get it on this show. However, you give him something that stands out, something that has historical benefit. And also, he ain't losing. He ain't, regardless, he ain't losing. Kazarian lost on to Thursday. He's a perennial loser. There's a history there. The two old heads of TNA can have a great match, and it could be easy as that. There's another one that I posited last night during the TNA post show. You want to save AJ and still give maximum, hilarity and still get okay. SB3. What is AJ Styles currently doing on WWE programming?
He's feuding with Dominic Mysterio.
How would you consider that feud? Serious, comedic? What kind of feud is it?
Memes.
It's memes. He's doing this and get your glasses. He's like, get your glasses. I'll get my glasses. And it's hilarious. He pulls out his glasses and he puts his reading glasses on. And it's funniest thing in the world. I laughed. I cackled when he pulls out his glasses after mimicking get your glasses. He's doing meme stuff. He's doing comedy stuff. This guy's going to come out, cut a promo maybe, or he is going to save Hometown Man from getting beat down from Northern Armory because there's a history there. Not only is Hometown Man unfortunately over with TNA crowds, I hate you people for that. Stop it. Stop it.
He's a hometown man.
Stop it.
He's worthless. He's useless. Makes Joe Hendry.
He loves his hometown.
Where's his hometown?
Man.
Yeah. Yeah. He loves his home.
Hometown is going to be Long Island, New York this week.
He's going to be wearing an Islanders jersey. But instead, what you're going to get is Northern Armory beats them down, and then AJ's gonna make the save. They're gonna set up either a tag match against Sinner and Saint, or they'll set up a 6-man, and eventually Dominic Mysterio will get involved somehow and shove somebody, but eventually AJ will get the win, and that'll be that. And we'll give in a little bit of SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is in 2 weeks, and you got to do a little bit of cross promotion there as well. Don't expect AJ to do anything huge. Don't expect him to go in going for a title. Don't expect him to go in having some heavy duty feud, whatever. I get it, but they ain't doing that with AJ. He's going to come in. He'll be a nostalgia pop. He'll say some words, and he'll have a little match, whether it's with Kazarian or if it's with those guys I just mentioned. That's where you're going. It's not going to be something massive. Don't set yourselves up for failure.
That sounds fantastic, though, Joel.
It'll be fun.
I did not think of him in Hometown Man. That's
awesome. Would love.
Please
that.
do it. Please do it.
They got to do AJ Francis too.
I mean, I long said that AJ Francis should get AJ Swoggle, and with AJ Styles in the ring, the three of them should do the Spider-Man meme. They should all just point at each other, and that's it. You got to point a little lower, so I guess it'll look more like this. But you can get there.
I want to see AJ Francis take a Styles class from AJ Styles.
The problem is AJ Francis has the ladder match, so you ain't going to see them interact, at least not at the pay-per-view.
Backstage.
Maybe I would definitely try and keep it backstage. Yeah, I'd do something. But like the Bound for Glory thing and people talking about Hall of Fame's there. AJ has said multiple times that he doesn't want to go into a Hall of Fame until he is done with wrestling. However, AJ is also a worker, and workers work, brother. So it's entirely possible that he's going to take it, or maybe he's ready to start winding down. So as a result, they just kind of move along.
We got Will Chisholm, who believes we're going to get AJ going to wrestle Trick at Bound for Glory for the TNA title. LOL.
That's the most TNA thing you could do.
All that accomplishes is Trick retaining and just moving on as the champion. And I don't see a reason to do that. Then you may as well just call it WWE TNA and actually stand by it.
Yeah, no, literally, because that makes Joe Hendry look like a nerd. That definitely makes you built up Santana for what? Like New York in season 2 of Flavor Flav. What you bring me back for, Flav? To open up the same wound, Flav? Nah, man, I have feelings. I don't want Joel Pearl to retire too. So y'all have to make Santana's got to win. I love Joel Pearl. I do. So
we'll get to that in the main event, shall we?
WWE total nonstop action. I can't wait. 2027. You heard it here first. Then we got on the countdown to Slammiversary for the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships is going to be the Elegance brand defending against the Inspiration. The Inspiration made their return to TNA back at Against All Odds and set their sights on the Knockouts World Tag Team titles. The Elegance brand, of course, retained those titles against the likes of Spitfire, and I think that's pretty much it of all the tag teams, because there's only ever like 2 to 3 tag teams in the TNA Knockouts tag team division. But they have in their side, they have M by Elegance. They got the Personal Concierge. Will all their backup be the difference against the Inspiration trying to win their second TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships? Cresta, what do you think about this match? Who do you think wins?
I said this last night, and I'll say it again here. Why not? That's who I think wins. Why not? I won't slander the Inspiration, because after the Iconics left the wrestling and Riot Squad left the wrestling ecosystem, there were no tag teams anywhere to be found on any place that had a lot of shenanigans. So I'm happy that they're back, but why not? Give love a chance. Why not?
Joe Pearl?
I think the Elegance is win with all the distraction. I think that the Inspiration then go to Santino Marella, who says, this Thursday at Live Impact, we're going to have a rematch and everyone's barred from ringside. And then they're just going to redo the match on Thursday, and then the Inspiration's going to win.
Why does your Santino sound like Eastern European in like the weirdest way possible?
Because he's not serious.
And neither is Joel.
And if Santino Morella's ass ain't gonna be serious, why should I?
I gotta agree with Joel here. I think the Elegance brand, they retain. I think that the Inspiration are just here for a cup of coffee, and I think they're gonna go to WWE sooner rather than later.
Really?
Yo.
Yeah. I hear it.
Has anyone told them about the WWE Women's Tag Division?
I mean, there is none, so they could thrive. There's no tag division anywhere.
Exactly.
There's no tag division nowhere.
Wow,
And I will say, if I'm gonna be honest, they have a better presentation in WWE because there's crazy broads like Killer Kelly running around in TNA. I'd rather go. I don't have to wrestle. I can be champion and not have to wrestle.
The fact that they've been like, is this? I think. Well, no, I think the first time around they were heels, but like I don't think the Inspiration or the Iconics work as baby faces. I think they would be better placed in WWE where they could just be heels
and annoy the crap out of not Alexa. Well, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte would be iconic, but also Judgment Day getting under Liv Morgan's skins. Like, why you still work here? I don't know what that Australian accent was. I apologize to your Australian viewers.
Yeah, seriously, that's worse than what I do. I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud. People who are watching the weeds know that this is very off-brand for me. They should go to AEW. The Inspiration should go to AEW. There's a women's tag division forming there, and also their bestie who did their music works there. So why not have an inspirational reunion with Harley Cameron?
I mean, but AEW has to care about their tag. You got a lesser chance of wrestling. You got a lesser chance.
They gotta book 2 women's matches on Dynamite. Tony Khan's like, I don't know about that.
And give them storylines. Come on, stop it.
Well, you know, there's Ring of Honor. Everyone loves Ring of Honor.
Athena and them?
Who? Never heard of her.
Oh my God. She was on Dynamite this week. That's disrespectful.
Last time
He's about to beat Tony Storm.
Last time I saw Athena, she was beating the crap out of TNA star Jody Threat before Jody got signed. In Toronto.
You didn't watch All In? You talked about All In for like 3.5 hours on Monday.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Number one hater, Joe Pearl, ladies and
exactly.
We actually said nice things, I promise.
He did. I watched some of it on my way home from Wrestle Talk.
What's wrong with you?
I'm supportive of my friend, unlike you.
You're calling me out, being like, you're watching our ROH post show. I'm like, I ain't watching that. It's midnight. I'm sleeping.
I swear I saw you. I swear I saw you.
I was nowhere near your chat.
You were sleepwalking into the chat. I am sure of it.
Yeah, sleepwalking is oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I should take that.
Hell yeah, brother.
I should take that and steal that from my show. Yeah. Sorry, this is in the weeds conversation.
Subconsciously, he knew.
Not Joel sounding like Shaq in his sleep voice the whole time.
I know. Yeah, he's like the big Aristotle.
I go for a big pizza right now. What do you mean, Shaq? What do you mean I can't get a big pizza right now?
All right, let's talk about the main card, and what they announced on the main card today is the match on the countdown. It's a Slammiversary as well.
This is a countdown show?
I thought it was on the main card. Holy crap. It wasn't until I uploaded this graphic.
Sorry,
I'm
Steve.
like, oh, wow.
Sorry, Steve.
If Steve Macklin comes to work and there's a workplace incident, I'm not questioning it. I'm not questioning it.
This guy can go have his match, and then he can just go and get a pizza and go to bed. He'll be in bed before the main.
This is
true. I'm gonna find him and we're gonna go dip out and we're gonna go do karaoke.
Shit, I should go to the show. Then I could just dip out with him and do an interview. Let's go.
Countdown to Slammiversary on the pre-show is going to be an interpromotional trios matchup, as it's going to be TNA's international champion Steve Macklin along with Mance Warner and Jake Something versus Fourth Rope Wrestling. As you got the champion of Fourth Rope, Zilla Fatu, Josh Bishop, and the flyweight champion for Fourth Rope, the one and only Enzo Amore, aka Real One. Real One has showed up on TNA Impact over the last couple of weeks in some NWOS invasion type promos and vignettes where he has basically been calling them out for not hitting him up to get clearance to be in New York City, his stomping grounds, talking about the incident that happened in Madison Square Garden and how he will just show up. And then on this week's Impact, he said that he would not be alone. He says that he's going to bring a Nepo baby, the champion of Fourth Rope, Zilla Fatu. Maybe he has a Bishop that will join him. He knows some good guys, or should he say good brothers, who's going to join him. So might not be the only representatives from Fourth Rope on this show, but who's going to win this interpromotional trios matchup? We'll start with Joe Pearl because I know he loves these Real One promos so much.
Take the graphic down so they can see my face. I've been very nice to Tommy Dreamer. We've had very nice conversations in the past. I appreciate him. Delirious. We have not officially met. I'd like you to know I will be on your neck for this. Ain't no one want to see Enzo in 2025. Fourth Rope ain't want to see Enzo in 2025. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Listen, people know I get along well with Stephen J. Macklin. The J stands for justified, in that he does everything with justification. What are we doing here? He's the international champion. I get it. You want to go back to the 3 guys that he had matches with recently? I get it. Should have been Jake something versus Steve Macklin for the international championship. We'll get back to that. I get it. But instead, we're going to bring in Enzo, Real One, NZO, whatever you want to call him in 2025. You're bringing him in. What are you doing, Tommy Dreamer? Delirious. And then you're expecting us to remember the MSG incident that he talked about. Why is Enzo Amore talking about the MSG incident from 2019? I had to ask my co-host, Cresta Starr, what it was. And you know what her answer was? A WWE reference where he wore a hat and covered up. No, it wasn't that. That wasn't the incident. You think fans just remember this. No, I remember because it's my job and I hate my job. But here I am telling you, what's wrong with you? I hope Josh Bishop wins, and I hope he gets a title shot. And then I hope we just do a lot of stuff with Josh Bishop because he rules. Zilla Fatu, sure, whatever. But the reality is, I just want to see Josh Bishop do a lot of stuff, wreck some people, have some fun. Him and Jake something, I'm all about it. Him and Steve Macklin, I'm all about it. The rest of this, go away. Oh, shout out to Mansoor too. He rules. I like him. Just he's kind of out of the picture. He's just kind of conveniently in this match now.
Wow, that was awesome. We're known for rants here. That's a good one. That was a good one. You did it in the calmest way possible as well. Cresta.
I'm a calm individual.
I'm a calm individual.
What do you think about Team TNA versus Team Fourth Rope?
All right. Unlike Joel, before you yell at me, this is who you're yelling at. So when I first got into wrestling, I found out about Enzo Amore and I thought he was the coolest guy ever, okay? Until my little brother let me know he's the corniest guy ever, right? Right. So in my hardest of hearts, I was like, yo, maybe one day we could see him actually wrestle. And then my little brother's like, no, the problem with Enzo Amore is that Enzo Amore was Enzo Amore all the time, even backstage. And plus, you can't write a diss record about that. I understand you were exonerated, but you can't write a diss record about that. I get it. So now that he's back, I'm excited. Yo, remember, if you're going to yell at someone, yell at Sailor Moon. So I'm a low-key excited to see Enzo Amore back because I want him to beat the allegations that you can't wrestle. I saw you break your own leg. That's okay. That was in the past. Things could change. I like Zilla Fatu. I know he can wrestle. Also, he like not Jacob. Yeah, like Jacob Fatu, he's a problem. I don't know the other guy, but I'm willing to give him a chance. I like everybody else, I'm not so down on it now. He only has one chance with me. He only got one chance with me. Now, if you screw this up, I can't defend you after that. Like at least wrestle. Because there have been worse people in wrestling, and you weren't convicted of it. So the bar is on the floor. The bar is in hell, okay? The bar is in hell under dirt in purgatory, bro. So I'm giving you the barest of minimums. All you got to do is wrestle. And I'll be sports entertained. Again, I'm going this with high expectations because I'm probably going to be a gardener that day as well. If you got the entendre, bless you. But that being said, I'm still going to go Team TNA. I don't think they need to. Fourth Rope needs to win here. it'd be funny if he got pinned, but I'm also a wrestling goblin. So, I think this is unfair for the Intercontinental, Interpromotional, Interchampion Steve Maclin. This is not fair to him in particularly because you're teaming with the two guys you just beat up. And now I'm about to fight someone who I wholly don't like. And there might be good brothers running around with an AJ Styles. I hate this. This is the worst day of my job. Like, I hate this job.
Can I interject? I think because people are getting into the good brothers thing, I really think that was just Enzo saying good brothers because he's thinking of like good brothers. Like he's not actually thinking of the tag team.
I don't know. Enzo he said a lot of AEW stuff. He was just saying stuff. So listen, my expectations are already getting lower as I talk. All he has to do is just not kill himself, and I'm with it.
Like Good Brothers worked one fourth rope show, and that was the show in Paris that they just did. And to me, that was just them getting a free vacation. That's all that was.
You're not wrong.
Hey, they like New York. They told me before. I did an interview with Luke Gallows back in 2021. He loves New York.
Yeah, listen, every it's like talking to any wrestling promoter and be like, so what do you think about the city you just ran? Like, oh, we love the city. It's the best city in the world. It's like asking Tony Khan about Chicago. You can tell you it's the best city in the world. And then I'm going to ask him about it in Toronto. He's like, oh, it's the best city in Canada, in the world. And I'm going to be like, all right, that's horseshit.
Well, it's time to take the JDC approach. Man, this is the worst town I've ever been. No, that's not JDC. That was SCU. That's SCU.
I can see the confusion with the letters and all.
It's letters. Letters are weird. I was going to go into this and say fourth rope wins because I love Zilla Fatu and I want Zilla Fatu to have everything and want him to win. But this is, TNA is too used to, another promotion coming in, WWE, and whooping their ass. So I think that because they have a lesser promotion, a smaller promotion coming in to work with them, they might actually win. So I will take the team TNA in this one.
TNA finally got more money than somebody else.
Wow.
They're probably pitting Josh Bishop, unfortunately, because they're not going to beat
Enzo,
the two. No, they're not going to beat the flyweight champion, the prestigious title he won in a battle royal at WrestleMania weekend. I remember that. I saw that show. It was convenient because
the funniest people ever.
That show started at like 6 a.m. So when I wake up at 8 a.m. here, I was able to watch it. Well, 6 a.m. for me in the UK.
Oh, I'm about to say disgusting.
It started at 1. It started at 1 a.m. Eastern, which was basically 10 p.m. for them in Las Vegas. So
okay. But still, that's so late.
It was very late. It did not end until like maybe like 8:30, 9 a.m. here. So for them, it was like 1:30 a.m. It didn't end till.
It's a big no, thank you for me.
I'm with Joel Pearl on that one.
I think Maclin gets pinned by Josh Bishop.
Not that. Pin Mansour. Pin something.
I think if anybody's gonna get the win for fourth rope, it's Zilla.
Fair,
Zilla or real one.
I think all of this is in service of giving one of those three a title match against Maclin. And you could do it with Enzo, and that's what they would do because again, Delirious loves Enzo. But I also know they like Josh because they brought Josh in and they gave him a deal. Josh was working with TNA last year, but then he got injured, so he was out. And Zilla is Zilla, but this is a free look-see for WWE to see Zilla in action in one of their co-promoted companies. So we'll see. But in my eyes, Maclin gets pinned, and that's going to facilitate whatever international championship match happens at the next PLE.
I hate that for Steve Maclin.
I don't. Sometimes you just got to remind people where they stand in this company.
I mean, yeah, but not getting pinned by Zilla is one thing. Getting pinned by Real One is another.
Listen, are any of those three guys from Baltimore? Where's Josh Bishop from?
Yeah, where's Josh Bishop from?
All I know is New York.
I know Zilla. I think it's in Texas.
Is he Texas?
Well, he's going to Booker T. He's training at Booker T school.
Bishop's Ohio. He's
Cali.
Maybe he's from Ohio. Sammy Callahan.
Yeah, Bishop's from Ohio.
And Real One's from New York.
Unfortunately. Is Zilla from Texas? Zilla's from Texas?
I think so.
Yeah, he's Texas. Yeah, he's Houston. Okay, so maybe it's not a placement thing, but they're in Baltimore next for Emergence on the 15th. By the way, we're not doing a post show for that.
Hey, thanks for letting me know.
I'll be in Ottawa. I'll be doing C4.
Thanks for letting us know.
So
We
damn
got
sure.
what I think is going to be the opener for the main card, or should be the opener for the main card. It's a grudge match, a rematch from WrestleMania 34. I was here live for this. It popped John Cena in the front row, and now almost 7 years later, it happens at Slammiversary this Sunday, 1-on-1. Cedric Alexander going up against Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali has been really kind of a change in his personality and been a lot more aggressive toward his own faction, Order 4, since losing to Mike Santana back at Rebellion. He's been getting physical, pushing down Tasha Steelz on occasion, being very commanding to the great hands, which led to basically all the people in his group kind of turning on him for a bit here. It led until Tasha started calling someone that was very close to Ali for advice on how to deal with them, and then finally called them in to come to TNA, and that was revealed to be Cedric Alexander. Alexander says that he wanted Ali to stop all of this and to come to his senses, but Ali wanted to finally get the win on Cedric Alexander that he was denied back at WrestleMania 34. That when everybody talks about his legacy of holding down the cruiserweight division in 205 Live back in WWE in the late 2010s, they always say Cedric and Ali. It's never Ali and Cedric. It's the heart and soul. It's not the soul and the heart. So he wants his redemption. He wants to beat Alexander at Slammiversary. But then we would all come to find out that this was all a ploy by Tasha Steelz to come to let Ali come to his senses and bring Order 4 back together. She brought Cedric in so Ali could get his revenge, and then revealed that by low-blowing Cedric and showing her true colors, where she aligns with Ali here, and brought Order 4 back together. So now, with his stable by his side, can Ali get the win that he was denied 7 years ago? Cresta, what have you thought about the build to this matchup and who wins on Sunday?
I feel two ways about this. On the one hand, Tasha Steelz, you're so smart. You created a problem and found a solution to the problem you created to bring people together. That's some politician, evil capitalist level shit there, and I got to give you your that was diabolical. You created a problem to find a solution to the problem created, and now you're a genius? All right. That being said, kind of like, what a waste of Cedric Alexander, I guess. You want to get your Mania winning, I guess. We're going to win. This match is going to be good. Let me be clear. Us fans, we're going to win here, no matter who wins. But it kind of feels like Ali was rudderless after the whole thing with Santana. So they brought in something to give him a thing while Santana does his main event thing. And if I'm using my wrestling smart brain, what I think should happen, Santana wins. After old boy gets his lick back on Cedric, now it's Ali versus Santana. And that's a great opening program because Ali and Santana have had really good matches thus far. That being said, I don't know who wins this. I think it'll be Ali. 90% sure it'll be Ali. I just wish that there was going to be more follow-up for Cedric because I think there might be one more match after this, maybe a tag match, and then Cedric is going to go and maybe hurt people. Okay,
they hurt people.
I mean, if he does, I want him to hurt MJF.
I mean, I could see him being just brought into the Hurt Syndicate and MJF basically having jealousy because of that, because he had to jump through hoops to join the Hurt Syndicate. You could just play it out as a story like that. Like, why does he just get accepted? And they just be like,
I was thinking SC3. I was thinking it, but I was trying to find a polite way to say, like, well, you dress like Bagger Vance.
Hey, I won't front though. MJF had the best part of the performance of their theme song at All In. When he started dancing, I was like, oh, I see you, MJF. I see all those dance lessons. You got some skills. But I agree with Cresta. I think Mustafa Ali gets the win here. I think there's a reason why we haven't got the report of Cedric Alexander has signed on with TNA. I think this is a short-term thing. It's a program he wanted to do. He wanted to wrestle Mustafa Ali again, and then he's going to be the hell up out of here. Joe.
Yeah, I've been saying that one for a few weeks now. The moment they never sent, they never showed you a graphic. They never leaked it to someone to report. This is a short-term deal, unless they get something done on Sunday to ink said he's sticking around longer. Yeah, that over white meat baby face known as Mustafa Ali is going to get the win. Listen, don't know why they're building it this way, but for some reason, this dude needs to get his win back, and that's white meat baby face territory. But the way that he's going to win, probably less so. And then we'll go back to hopefully Mustafa Ali going for a world title as early as Bound for Glory.
I have liked the way they've used Mustafa Ali since getting him last year. Like, he had that long run as X Division champion. He was kind of the face of the X Division, had a good program with Speedball Mike Bailey, and then they wrote him off for the rest of 2024. And then his comeback and the rivalry with Santana, I think, is still the best rivalry of TNA this year. And they had the match of the year for TNA at Rebellion in that Falls Count Anywhere matchup. And I think, that would be a good program to go back to for the TNA World Championship. Just keep them in the top mix. This feels like an upper mid-card type of feud, but I like the fact that it's still given the time and it's actually a story that can be talked about, which not all these matches on this card have as much story as this one.
And that's because Ali's been very heavily invested in his own programs since he came in. He's had a lot of say into what goes into his stories, and for that, and his character too. And for that, you see it. You see the fruits of his labor and who he wants to take along for those rides.
Yeah. The way that they built up at first I was like, you good hands are dumb because he literally tricked you the last time. And now there's character development in the good hands. And I think that if they decide to leave Order 4, they're actually a tag team now. Like, you know what I mean? Before I just saw them as fodder, like, oh, you fighting the good hands, you're winning. Now you might actually lose. They could go for a tag run. I'd be like, you know what? That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I believe more in the Great Hands if they stay with Order 4, because it seems like this is one of the factions that they're actually invested in, like Joel said, because Ali is so invested in telling the stories that he wants to tell. But then we go on to the next matchup here, which is going to be this one of the latest matches that they added to this card. It's an 8-man tag team matchup as everyone's favorite faction from NXT, because they've done such a great job of establishing them and what they want here. Dark State, Saquon Sugars, Dion Lennox, Osiris Griffin, and my boy from WWE LFG, the upper Cutler himself, Cutler James. They team up to face the TNA team of The System, Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, and JDC, along with Brian Myers' good old friend, the major players back together again, Matt Cardona. Cardona was the first victim of Dark State when they showed up in TNA, when they jumped them 3 weeks ago. Cardona warned the System that they need to get involved. They need to help them out in this fight against Dark State, but they didn't want to listen until they showed up on NXT and brought the fight to Dark State when they were going up against Trick Williams, Joe Hendry, and Mike Santana. They were there to back them up. Team TNA coming together, but then they felt the wrath of Dark State on this week's TNA Impact, which led to Matt Cardona also feeling the wrath of Dark State, where the System came out to help him out. They were hell-bent on getting rid of Matt Cardona from TNA weeks ago, and now they stand by his side against the Force from NXT. I'm going with Dark State here because Dark State don't really lose. Joe Pearl?
Dark State's winning. This match is, from a backstage perspective, very interesting. They had plans for Dark State. Those plans didn't really play out because they didn't get the reaction that they wanted. And they didn't tell the story beyond what are these 4 guys doing here? And then you find out, well, one of them's really smart, but deferred to go be an athlete instead of being smart. And then the other 3 guys are guys in a stable, I guess. And they had basically 2 of them have the same story, because Dion Lennox, who was the smart guy who always read, and then when he takes off his glasses, he becomes intense, but then he started losing, so he decided to go join a gang. Right. So
it's basically the story. It's basically the story to a lot of hood classics from the 90s.
Well, listen, I don't know who's writing NXT these days, but I'm sure Michaels was definitely behind this. Anyway, I don't think it was Michaels ever in a Hood Classic. Not important. He didn't put himself in a story like this. The other part of this with Dark State is they are being put up against 4 guys who have a ton of experience. You're talking Brian Myers, Matt Cardona, JDC, and Edward Edwards. These are 4 guys who, among the 4 of them, have probably close to 60 to 70 years of wrestling experience under their belt. These guys are going to be able to give Dark State a match that will be memorable and put them over while still making those other 4 guys, look good in defeat. So for that, I understand why they're doing it. The storytelling for it has not been good because they realize we got to do something. And it's like, oh, Matt Cardona has one friend and that one friend barely likes him. But now he's going to team up with that one friend and the people who he is actually a team with. And then we'll just get through it. And that'll be that. It's very fly by the seat of your pants, hope for the best. But these guys are going to work with 4 guys who are very, very talented and very well versed in wrestling. So you'll enjoy the match. Dark State wins and nobody does anything else.
Cresta, who you got?
When the lights go down and I am free. Matt Cardona's gonna get walked out on. He's gonna take the pin. I'm so sorry. I like Matt Cardona. I hate this for Matt Cardona. I love Matt Cardona. I love Matt Cardona. Dark State wins here. Yeah, I don't know.
He can't even get the hometown win.
He's not the hometown man. He's not. And again, I am of the mind that Dark State is your MacGuffin for a lot of things that's going to go wrong in TNA going forward. Hey, like somebody has said it in chat. Hey, Dark State interferes with Trick. Like, that's the most TNA thing to do. That is the most TNA. And Joe Hendry's leading it. That don't even make sports sense. But it's TNA. Hey, why not? Hey, why not? I would like, to me, it would make sense. Dark State are just running in like mindless animals, if you will. You've got, not for nothing, whether I like them or not, the system who has been winning. And Matt Cardona, he's been a loser in TNA, but he wins most of his stuff most of the time. On paper, the system and Matt Cardona should win. But realistically, something's going to happen. Brian Myers is going to feel conflicted, eventually walk off with them, and Dark State is going to win. And it kind of sucks because on the one hand, I agree with Joel. These are new guys. We're going to get a wealth of experience from these guys that have so much experience. And if you get to wrestle Eddie Edwards, bro, you're going to be the safest hands this side of the Mason Dixon. Good on you. That being said, it's not looking good for the old guys.
You might be right there. You might be
Matt
right.
Cardona is definitely eating the pin.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a reason why they haven't reminded. There's a reason why they haven't reminded people where he's from.
He's coming out in the Long Island colors.
But there's only room for one like New York story per pay-per-view, and they're telling it in the main event. They're not even letting their Knockouts Women's Champion be that person. And
well, she cut the promo. She cut the promo on Thursday.
Said one line. They've been literally filming around New York with the other guy. Come on.
I'm so sorry. As a New Yorker, I can't speak for Brooklyn. So heck, Brooklyn. But technically, you're not even from there, so I don't know why they're going to say that.
It's her adopted home. It's her adopted home.
I'm not saying nothing. It's not the Bronx. You know what I mean? Do what y'all want, Brooklyn. Do what you want. But I can see the justification.
Look, man,
Brooklyn keep on taking it. KRS-One told us that.
Stop.
I mean, that's what I've heard. Great Carter II says Dion Lennox is Tombstone, laughing emoji. Tombstone from Spider-Man fame. I was thinking more of Ghost is Jamie St. Patrick. He used to have his head in the book, and then he became a gang member, a drug dealer. Power. And we also got RM in the chat who says we've got Fightful's New World Order doing the podcast today. I knew SB3 was the third man.
I mean, you do a show with us too, so
yeah. Joe Pearl is the third man begrudgingly. I'm the Joker. I'm the guy's like, stab everyone. And Joe Pearl's like, I'm here so I can talk to the cops later, bro.
I'm the odd man out, man, at best.
I used to call myself Fightful adjacent. Now I'm kind of Fightful. Yeah.
Sorry, pal.
You got me doing a show every week. Yeah, I'm accepted as I'm a Fightful.
Can't be a fan anymore. Now you got to be a reporter like the rest of us assholes.
Yeah, get into it. Watch your mouth, pal.
Nah,
report the facts.
Get it right.
And no, we haven't discussed Mike Santana quite yet. Don't worry, RM.
We'll get there.
Yes. We got a super chat donation from Volup. Thank you so much, Volup, for the support. We got Volup who says, I've been behind TNA since 2006. This show is really make or break for me for good. This genuinely isn't working for me.
You forgot brother at the end there, pal.
Volup gets it, man. Real one.
Fair.
They know, man. They get it. So I get it. I've been doing this shit since 2002 with TNA. I've been doing this vacillating stuff. I was at Bound for Glory when they rebranded and went to Ottawa. I was third row. There are photos of me being all excited and shit. They got a chance to lose me. We're going to find out.
I've been watching TNA since it was just on Wednesday night pay-per-views, and I had an illegal cable box. So I know the feeling. And of course, we have Jimmy Macarim, who teased that he would be sending a super chat about something that has nothing to do with the show we're talking about, because he is a shameless Swerve Strickland hater. He says, had a chick, but she was black and ugly. Swerve Strickland. Thoughts?
Sometimes she black and ugly. I've heard this complaint before. Listen, I get it. Sometimes we want to make things into things that work. But if you had an ex and she happened to be black and ugly, I'll rap about it. If she was Asian and ugly, I'm rapping about it. If she was white and ugly, I'm rapping about it. If she was Spanish ugly, I'm rapping about it. I see what you're doing. But it's like, you better shake that bait somewhere else. I see what you're doing. You better go fishing, pal. You better shake that bait somewhere else.
He is a natural born hater, and we appreciate you, Jimmy, for sending a super chat. Thank you so much. We got here someone else who knows about Black and Ugly. Tessa Blanchard will be going one-on-one. Great timing, Jimmy. Tessa Blanchard will be going one-on-one with Indy Hartwell in a grudge match. These two women used to be good friends. When Indy Hartwell came over from Australia, she slept on Tessa Blanchard's couch, and they were good friends when Indy Hartwell tried her hand in wrestling here in the United States. But now here we are 6 years later, Indy Hartwell coming off of her round in WWE, a 6-year run where she was the NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, NXT Women's Champion, and now she's in TNA trying to restart her career. Is Tessa Blanchard in her way once again? And this is a totally different Tessa Blanchard, she says, from the one that she used to know. They've been at each other's throat over the last couple of weeks. We'll start with you, Cresta. What have you thought about the build to this matchup? Who wins on Sunday?
This ain't Fightful, so I'm about to let her rip.
Go ahead. You know the deal.
Why don't you say sorry, Tessa? They like, bro, literally, you're about to have Enzo freaking Amore on the show, and he's the least problematic one. Just say so. I feel so bad for anyone who has to wrestle you. And again, this ain't Fightful, so I'm gonna say it. Victoria Crawford being, I got a black friend. I cannot take this. I cannot take this. I cannot take this. I feel bad for anyone who has to wrestle you. Bro, I know, because I already know my little brother. He's going to start chanting, Tessa, we coming for you. This is going to be me having to sit there. Just apologize. Just say sorry. Like, bro, just do something. I'm tired of this being the topic of conversation every time we talk about you. You're a good wrestler. Okay, maybe even apologize for not wanting to give back the title. I want this to stop being the topic of conversation. Poor Indy Hartwell. She should win. But who's going to win? I hate this promotion. I don't hate this promotion. I don't hate this promotion, okay? But it's I'm sports tired. I'm sports exasperated. It's like, bro, like, you are one of the best wrestlers, women alive. I got to give you credit where credit is due. But, bro, I'm tired of people. We always got to bring up that you're fucking racist. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of it. Don't apologize so we can move on. Indy Hartwell, but I know that's not going to happen. So I'm going to go get an alcoholic beverage during this match. Final answer. I'm sorry. I have to get it off my chest.
The fact that they've made the storyline of Tessa won't take accountability is hilarious.
I would have thrown my chair.
Joe Pearl.
Tessa was on a podcast recently. I didn't listen, but they promoted it. And then afterwards they said, thank you, Tessa, for joining the show tonight. To which a fairly well-known son of a very well-known referee replied, wow, what a great insight with her, and really dig into the questions y'all want to know. To which I replied, well, no, she's been specifically told not to answer, quote, the questions we all want to know.
Bro, I want someone who's not afraid to go on the mic there with her and just see what happens. There's no Enzo Amore for women. The only person I could think of is Zelina Vega because she's rude given the right opportunity. But at this point, if we're going to do it, do it. If we're going to do it, do it. Because I've taken accountability. Bro, just spit on my face. Just spit on my face at that point.
There is no reason for them to be playing people's faces. Okay? There's no reason for them to do this. Between the Victoria Crawford is my black friend, and also you're not going to take accountability for your past. Like you're just doing the things we know, and you're not making it better. She's going to win the match. She is going to be the next challenger at Bound for Glory for the Knockouts Championship. Whoever wins this match will be the challenger for the Knockouts title at Bound for Glory, barring any unforeseen circumstances. I see it being Tessa. I see them going back to Masha again for the title, and this might be when she wins it.
Don't do that.
I
would quit. I'd retire with you.
For anyone who's saying, she's talented, yeah, the reality is, sure, she's a great wrestler. That's good for you. But I don't want to get invested in you at all if you're a piece of garbage human being. And yeah, people will be like, oh, it's so woke of you. Oh yeah, I think it's pretty okay if I don't want to like people who are pieces of shit outside of the characters that they play. And she is not a nice person outside of her character as well. So why should I care about her? That's why whenever we do our reviews, full disclosure, we just breeze on by. Because yeah, she's a good wrestler. But being a good wrestler, there are billions of those. And they didn't say out of pocket shit and get called out for it. And if and when they do, because all wrestlers are stupid, they will have the same results. I'll breeze right by their match, and that'll be that.
Yeah. I'll never deny that she's good. And it's kind of like my same gripe with Hulk Hogan. What used to be one of my favorite wrestlers. Literally, I was on the Tessa bandwagon when she won the world championship for TNA, and she was and she had no, she wasn't champ. That was Deonna Purrazzo. But I was on it. She did that tweet look what happens when we stick together, and almost every woman was like, "Not you saying women stick together. That's insane. That is insane. You in 4K spitting on somebody. This is you." Then disappeared and wouldn't relinquish the tie. It's one of those things where it's I want to give you your process. People make mistakes. I do. But I can't. I can't. Apologize first. I cannot.
Oh man. And of course, Jimmy Macaram has to send another super chat because he wants it to be read out. He says, Tessa, proper energy, but we stick up for the raccoons.
Oh, so you just don't like... He
doesn't like Swerve. He don't like Swerve.
We weren't even talking about Swerve. This bro is Nigel McGuinness. Danielson don't even work here no more, bro. What are you doing?
I just appreciate that you never threw to me on any of those super chats.
We're not gonna get you messed up out here, Joel.
Yeah, we're not gonna mess you up.
We ride for you, Joel. We're not gonna get you messed up.
I appreciate the protection in this case.
All right, for the TNA War. Oh, well, I didn't give my prediction. Yeah, I can't go for Tessa. I'll go for Indy Hartwell because I do believe the winner of this matchup will get a shot at the TNA Knockouts World Championship at Bound for Glory, and that should give you a spoiler on who I think is going to win the championship matchup on this show. For the TNA World Tag Team Championships, it's going to be a 4-way ladder match. You have the champions Nick and Ryan Nemeth, who apparently have been in more ladder matches than anyone else in this matchup, versus I know that was the joke.
That's why I did the follow-up.
Versus the Rascals, versus First Class, versus ladder match aficionados, Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Hardys. And the Hardys say that this matchup is very important to them, as they have been on quite a losing streak as of late, after losing the TNA World Tag Team titles to the Nemesis back at Rebellion. They've lost to First Class in an 8-man tag. They've lost every attempt at trying to get the titles back from the Nethers, but whether it was really Matt and Leon Slater, the honorary Hardy Boy, that was there. But the Hardys decide that they will end the Hardy Party if they are not able to win the tag team titles here. All these teams have been interacting with one another over the last couple of months. Who's going to climb the ladder and walk out as the TNA World Tag Team Champions? Joe Pearl.
I think it's First Class, but I also think that the Nemeth should retain, because this is the best case scenario for the Nemeths right now, because God knows I don't need them to do anything else in the singles division. Let them be obnoxious tag team. There are other tag teams to face. That's where I'm at. Leave it to the Nemeths to retain. I'd like to see First Class, so I'll do First Class, knowing the Nemeths will probably win.
Cresta?
I think it's about to be a First Class robbery. I think the Nemesis, the Hardys are going to win. The Nemesis are going to screw the Hardys. But AJ Francis, this man, I won't disrespect him and call him the Miz, but he's borderline Black Don Callis. You on my screen every week. You're scheming. You always in something. This could be First Class's first title. He's always in something. He always up to something. Always up to something. They call him bald. He just looked at the crowd like, I don't care. I know I'm bald. I think it's First Class. Like, wholeheartedly, I think Casey Navarro and him thief the pot. I think they just win it.
Y'all making me rethink my answer here. Nah, y'all haven't. I'm going with the Hardys.
I don't want to go with the Hardys, and then TNA does the you want psych. So I'm just gonna go with what I think is gonna actually happen, which is First Class.
I think it's the Hardys. I think the Hardys win here. We got Greg Carter, who says, I will never pick Ryan Nemeth in life. Screw it. First Class.
Wow, huge CM Punk fan, Greg Carter over here.
He's nicknamed his brother. The end.
That's his career. That's his career, folks. But then we got the other Hardy, Leon Slater. He will challenge Moose for the TNA X Division Championship. These two men have been basically feuding with each other for months now. Leon Slater has looked like he was on the cusp of winning the TNA X Division Championship since pretty much the beginning of the year. They were involved in that high-risk moment at Ultimate X when Leon Slater did the Swanton 450 off the top of the Trust. It was Leon Slater who looked like he was going to win the X Division Championship, and he did. Moose decided to spear him, and he dropped the title, even though his feet landed on the mat with the title. They decided to give the title to Moose instead. Then Leon Slater pinned Moose in an 8-man tag team matchup at Against All Odds, setting up this big matchup for the TNA X Division Championship. Can Leon Slater become the youngest TNA X Division champion of all time, or will Moose continue his reign and come close to becoming the longest reigning X Division champion in history? Cresta.
What I'm about to say is absolutely complimentary. It's time to pack it up, little Bill, big Bill ass Moose. It's time to go. It's Leon Hardy's time. It is Leon Hardy's time. At this point, listen, I could see them this being the big disappointment of the night, and then maybe doing it on TNA Live and Mike Santana winning. So you got TNA is good for. I'm going to give you one disgusting thing to make you feel bad about life. And there's no blood matches here. There's no Monsters Ball. So if we're going to job anyone, I could definitely see it happening to Leon Slater because of the system. And well, most of the system has a match. Well, that's pre-show. So I could see it happening here, Moose retaining, and then Leon taking it from him at the live for that live crowd pop. However, my heart says, give Leon this moment. Amazing Red will shed a tear from the wrestling pantheon from which he resides and let it be done. I think that's fine, and have him versus Moose in the live for the rematch, and that'll get a good pop, and he'll beat Moose again. But if there's going to be an upset on this show, if it's not Mike Santana, it's happening here.
I think I'm going to go with Leon Slater. My boy, Leon Slater. Ever since I talked to him, I've gotten such a great appreciation for him. He's a kid that told me one of his favorite video games of all time was WWE 2K14. And he gave me PTSD of that final round with The Rock and John Cena. And we both shared in our PTSD of that. And I got to see him in the UK at a Progress show, and he remembered me. So I'm always going to vote for Leon Slater after that. Joe Pearl, who do you got here?
Youngest in charge, baby. It's gonna be Leon. There's two stories at play. One is Moose going for the number one longest reigning X Division champion spot, and the other one is Leon Slater going for the youngest X Division championship or champion ever. He needs that one. Leon's been on a tear. He's getting rubbed by every single legend you can think of, and Moose wants to do this for him. And on top of that, they have the chemistry. They have proven they do. I talked about it last night on the post show. Moose, this is going to be my sleeper match of the night. This should be a lot of people's sleeper match of the night because I know people feel a certain way about Moose. I get it. Maybe not type or whatever. Moose, when he goes up against like taller, lankier opponents, he really finds that chemistry with them and they get to play a really good cat and mouse game. I'm expecting this to be an excellent match. I know it will be. And I'm expecting Leon Slater to get the win. I've been saying this for months on months now. Cresta can attest to this. This is Leon Slater's time. The only way that I see Moose retaining is if that brings out AJ Styles and AJ says, you think you're going to be the number one, X Division champion of all time, but you got to get through me first. And that's the match at whatever event gets us closest to him breaking the record. That's my like pie in the sky creative. I don't think they're doing that. I think it's just time for Leon to be the champion.
I agree with that. But like I said, if they're going to disappoint it, that's a better disappointing than the system running down. I would hate that for Leon, but if we're going to disappoint.
Well, keep in mind also that system match is not on the pre-show. That is a main card match.
Yeah.
So I think this will be the fourth rope match.
Yeah, the fourth rope match. So this matchup here, I think, will be one-on-one, and I agree with Joel. It's like a sleeper for match of the night. I think these two guys can deliver, and Leon Slater has been delivering for TNA since he signed, so I'm looking forward to it. But I know Joel's not looking forward to that matchup as much as he's looking forward to this one. For the TNA Knockouts World Championship and NXT Women's Championship title for title, it's Masha Slamovich one-on-one with Fatal Influences, Jacy, Jayne. These two women have met in the past in a fantastic match, according to Joel Pearl. But Jacy Jayne won the NXT Women's Championship from Stephanie Vaquer back in May. She has held it down, but she has been getting the reputation as the easiest champion to beat ever. But she keeps turning back title challenger after title challenger after title challenger, whether it be Lainey Reed or whether it be Jordynne Grace at Evolution. She still holds this title now 2 months later, and she faces a woman that has held down the TNA Knockouts World Championship for the better part of 10 months after defeating Jordynne Grace last year at Bound for Glory. Masha Slamovich has been the face of the TNA Knockouts division and turned back title challenger after title challenger after title challenger. But can she make history by becoming the first TNA wrestling star to win a WWE title and become an historic double champion? Who will walk out with all the gold, or will there be a result at all? Cresta, I'll start with you I will end off with the person who's looking forward to this matchup the most. Cresta, what do you think about the build to this matchup? What do you think wins on Sunday?
I would like Masha to win. I think there's a storyline here about Masha being double champion. And I think that when eventually Blake Monroe has to win it, Masha versus Blake, I think, is the money there. I think because TNA gave up their main title to WWE, let's do a quid pro quo and give up your women's title. It's fine. You guys do your tournament because WWE does really good tournaments. And then you have Masha versus whoever. However, this is WWE's I've booked myself into a corner, and this is also TNA's I've booked myself into a corner. Is there a screwy finish? Maybe. But the stipulation being both championships on the line, I don't know how you get out of that. To me, put it on Masha. Put it on Masha. She may not have to fight Grace again, but Grace versus Masha on NXT, I think would be a really good showcase for people who don't watch TNA. And I think that'd be great to have that on NXT. But I think it's going to be, I think you should have Masha win, respect to Jacy, and have it Blake Monroe versus Masha eventually. I don't know how we get there, but I don't think this finish is clean. I would like Masha to win, but this is also TNA doing, please give us money. Please, do you want to take our women's championship too? I know you pinned our guy at Royal Rumble, and I know that he got pinned. Please give us money. So I don't know. I low-key expect Jacy to win via shenanigans. I would like Masha to win, but shenanigans are happening. But I'm sports concerned.
All I gotta say to you, Cresta, like a thief in the night, no, we won't let you in, 'cause we hold on the light, we'll bind you with it. Bet I know the front lines, you can't say the same. So stay where you're meant to be, we'll take over this game. Jacy Jayne gets the win. Fatal Influence.
Those are the lyrics?
Banger theme song.
Those are the lyrics?
Yes.
Those are awful.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Good God.
I didn't know the lyrics either. I thought you was about to hit me with the "you can look but you can't touch," because I know you know the words to that one too.
Oh, no. I know the words. I don't know the words to that. I just know the first one. But I had to look it up because I was like, this theme song is awesome. Until I read the lyric. Like a thief in the night, no, we won't let you in, 'cause we hold on the light, we'll blind you with it.
What are these?
Said
These
I know
lyrics
the
don't
front
mean anything.
lines, you can't say the same. So stay where you're meant to, we'll take over this game.
It's giving so good.
Suno is what it is. You know what Suno is? It's the AI generator for music. That's what it is. It's like somebody
don't
put in
need
a script
It's
prompt.
Def Rebel. That's
Yeah.
basically
I
Def
can make
Rebel.
music. I'll make music for you guys. It won't even be AI slop. I got y'all. Don't.
Someone in the chat asking how much of a super chat do we need to get SP3 not to sing anymore? You know what? Chance it. Just keep sending money until he decides that's
Yeah.
enough. That's all
I've
you need to
heard
know.
It's around the same amount that it takes me to shave my head and shave my eyebrows, but instead of $44,444, it's $55,555 for SP3 to stop singing on his channel. Send your donations accordingly and in bulk because we can't add. If you send us 400 here, 1,000 there, it's 55 in bulk. Thank you very much.
Hey, I love that theme song. That theme song's a banger. They got the coordinated entrance where Jasmine Unix lays on the apron and says like this. And then get away from me.
Does her face, does her Conan.
So good. It's
Feel,
so
that's
good.
enough.
I love
That's
a coordinated entrance. I don't know how you can hate
Coordinated
that,
entrance.
Joel,
It's not
but you would
coordinated.
love the
You You got Fallon Henley with their whole like it's awful.
Okay, but Kyle O'Reilly plays air guitar like he's having a seizure,
That's
bro.
fine.
Like,
That's fine. That's okay. That's fine.
that's okay.
That's okay. What they do is a bridge too far.
Lovely song. Love it. Yeah, but no, TNA's gonna twerk for WWE. So Jacy.
Jesus.
Oh no, like once I saw Joe Hendry losing in the Royal Rumble, I could take that. Getting pinned by Randy Orton in 3.5 seconds. All right. All right. Losing to Trick Williams. Whoa! All right.
I see what's going on here. So yeah.
I'm prepared. I know that I'm going to have an alcoholic beverage and or be a garden gnome with Rob Van Dam. So this is not going to hurt my feelings as much. I could be surprised. I could be sports surprised.
Yeah.
Like,
I would be shocked. I would love to see it. I love Masha Slamovich. I think she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. I would love to see her win. I just don't see it happening. Joe, it's TNA. Joe Pearl, who you got?
3 months ago, Jacy Jayne and Masha Slamovich had a really good match. One that Jacy Jayne was probably at her peak. It's going to be a good match. Okay? I don't want people to lose sight of that reality. Impact Live is a few days later. So you could change titles right away anyway. Then you've got Emergence on the 15th, and then you've got a week later is NXT Heatwave. I think WWE wants to continue taking a look at Masha Slamovich. I think they want to continue having her on their programming to give her reps, because if there's one thing Masha is really good at, it's wrestling. If there's one thing that she will admit that she needs work on, it is her promo and just talky talk skills. She even told that to me like a few years ago. We did an interview over on Fightful when she had just won the GCW World title, and she was like, she told me off camera, she's like, I got to do more of these because I got to get more comfortable doing interviews and doing like camera stuff. And this is, if you watch the promo from NXT live on Tuesday, wasn't very good. And I think that if they want her to get into their kind of not good graces, but get them interested in her, she's got to work on her talking. That's why I think Masha might win. And the only way that I don't think she wins is if they get real fancy with the finish, in that Ash by Elegance has a TNA Knockouts title shot. Blake Monroe, Jordynne, Grace have a thing going on that also surrounds the NXT Women's Championship. Zaya Brookside, Lei and Lee are going to be at ringside. The other members of Fatal Influence are going to be there. There's going to be enough schmaz stuff going around that it's going to wonk the finish, and they're probably going to run it back as early as Thursday. So I think it doesn't really matter who wins. Whoever wins is going to drop whatever other company's title they have as early as Thursday, maybe even Tuesday in Houston when they do NXT. So I can see Masha winning, getting the moment, and then they bring her out and she drops that title as early as Tuesday or even Thursday on Impact Live. So that's where I'm at. But I'm going to go with Masha because you can tell that they are trying to do something with Masha. They want to give her that look.
I'm hoping you're right. I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
I think that's also SP3 us being jaded wrestling fans, especially when we talk about Joe Hendry, for example. There was a time when he was super hot, even if he was losing in the other company. I feel like for losing there, you should be rewarded here, and that wasn't the case. So I agree with Joel. Like, my brain says Masha, the way they've been booking her, it makes sense. But this is TNA, baby. It's not about weight limits. It's about no limits. And I'm a no limit soldier, and we don't die. So.
They're not doing anything with Jacy that they weren't already planning. And the NXT Women's Championship, that's a match between Jacy and Blake at this point. And the story, as far as I understood it, the story was Blake taking Fatal Influence from Jacy, thus turning her babyface in the process. I don't know if they're going to continue with that, but they need to test out the Jacy Jayne babyface reaction, because that's what they do in NXT, right? They'll give you both sides so that you figure out how your character works on either side of the ledger. They haven't done that with Jacy yet. So this was kind of the start of that. And they're doing that with Blake right away. They brought her in and she immediately did she was babyface, but then they immediately turned her because they know what to expect. Yeah. So again, for me, it's Masha because they still want to look at her, but they know what they have in Jacy. They're well aware. So they
microwaved the Blake Monroe heel turn.
Those old nachos.
I mean, yes, that's a whole other can of worms, but I do agree with you.
But let's talk about it. Let's talk about the main event of TNA. Hold on. Go ahead.
No. Normally when you say let's talk about it, that means we're not going to talk about it.
That's the end of the show, actually.
No. That's his catchphrase. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, but
we're going to talk about it. He doesn't talk about it.
He does.
So
TNA World Champion Trick Williams of NXT will defend against two TNA stars in a three-way matchup in the main event this Sunday. It will be Joe Hendry, the former champion and the crowd favorite when it comes to New York City, the one and only Mike Santana. Trick Williams, of course, won the TNA World Championship at Battleground, becoming the first WWE star to hold the top prize in TNA. He defended the title against Mike Santana in his first defense on NXT TV, and thanks to help from First Class, he picked up the win to retain the title. Ever since then, Joe Hendry and Mike Santana have been coming after him. Joe Hendry was given his rematch for the TNA World Championship at Slammiversary, and Mike Santana, after picking up a win over AJ Francis, he pleaded, he rallied the fans to get himself inserted in this triple threat matchup, and it was made official by Santino. Trick Williams has been trying to drive a wedge between the two TNA stars over on TNA Impact, while on NXT, he's been getting help from High Rise, Wesley, and Tyson and Tyreek to get help to beat down both men. They laid them out a couple of weeks ago. Then they had the contract signing where Santana and Hendry teamed together to put Trick through a table. These three men teamed up to face Dark State on NXT this week, with Trick Williams basically getting punched in the mouth by his two challengers for really no reason. He didn't even attack them or anything. It was kind of mean. But it led to them standing off with him. And then you had Trick and Frankie Kazarian teamed up to face Mike Santana and Joe Hendry on Impact this week, with Hendry and Santana picking up the win there. Can Santana finally win the big one in New York City? Can Joe Hendry reclaim the title he lost for TNA? Or will Trick Williams' era of TNA wrestling continue? I'll go first because, like I said, I've been watching TNA since 2002. Monty Brown, he was supposed to be the homegrown guy. He was supposed to win the TNA World Championship. First Jeff Jarrett on an episode of TNA Impact, he lost. Kind of happened. Who can I go to? I could go to Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry last year, they built him up for Bound for Glory in Detroit. He was supposed to have Eminem in his corner. He come out with an Eminem themed entrance. Did he win? No. They missed the boat on that one too. The list goes on and on. Jeff Hardy, during his first run, he was supposed to win the TNA World Championship. Did he? No. They had to do the Kings of Wrestling with Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Jeff Jarrett. I have PTSD for years of TNA doing this to us. Samoa Joe should have won the TNA World Championship in 2007 when he was undefeated. He beat the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Jeff Jarrett, in a country whooping match. Did he get a shot at the title after that? No. He had to lose to Kurt Angle and lose his undefeated streak and then go on a whole journey a year later, and then he eventually won the TNA World Championship. I've been dealing with this for 23 years. I will deal with it on Sunday. Trick Williams retains. Cresta.
I hate you. You hate me. TNA, why you doing this to me? Because SP3 is right. And Joe Hendry eats the fucking pin. I hate this show. Yeah, I want to believe, to me, there are two right answers here. Mike Santana being the most rightest of correct answers here, the way you've been building him. I was telling this to Joel last night. The video package with his father's one, I assume one of his last voice messages to his son, that wrecked me, bro. That I was sports crying. I had a manly, thugly tear. I'm like, you can't do this and then not. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. They absolutely can. Even when you were talking about how Trick Williams is getting help from Wesley and them on NXT. This is going to be a schmozz finish. I hate this for Joe Hendry because Joe Hendry is a correct answer too. After getting pinned by Randy Orton, doing the job at Royal Rumble, doing the job to Trick, you would think that there should be some reward for, okay, you're putting the brand over, so let's reward you on your way out. No, because you said you were going to go to WWE, so now we got our arms full and we're mad at you. But look at how you treated me. Why would I stay here? You had me lose to everybody, and then when people are like, yo, what are y'all doing with, and when you said, I'm going to go to WWE, like, here, damn. You could have Trick win clean. Hear me out here. You could have Trick win clean. So people could be mad about it, but they can say, oh, well, that Trick guy wrestles good. He's a good fella. But that's never how it's been the entire time. You've pretty much said that he can't beat either Joe Hendry or Santana. So he's going to cheat every time. So you don't have a credible champion. The two guys who are the most credible, we know you're going to jerk them off. And then the other dude who, even if I'm like, okay, you could put it on Joe Hendry, not Mike Santana withstanding, and you could say on Joe Hendry's way out, you put it on Santana, which would lead. That's not even going to happen either. You're going to schmozz the finish, and Trick is going to win, and that makes me sad. I want Mike Santana to win. I want Joe Hendry to win. I'm okay with Trick winning if it's clean and we do something on TNA Live, but that's not going to happen either, is it? So I think the match will be good, but us fans here, unless it's Santana, I would be fine with Joe Hendry. Not everybody else is. But I think unless Santana wins, we the fans here lose. The match is going to be great, but you're not even going to let Trick win clean. And that's what's a little frustrating about it too. At least let him win clean, but that's not going to happen. So
this is the equivalent of Jon Moxley winning last Saturday. Joe Pearl, who do you think wins on Sunday in the main event?
Tommy, are you listening to me, Tommy?
I thought you were going to say Tommy Dreamer. I'm like, no, Joel, what are you talking about?
Tommy Dreamer, are you listening to me? It's time for us to chat again. Tommy, I want to tell you a story. It's Emergence 2023. Maybe it's 2022. Time's a flat circle. Just ask AJ Styles. I was asked by my family to come to the show. And we did, all 5 of us. We went and we enjoyed the evening sitting at the back and watching the matches. Saw Steve Macklin return that night from injury. It was really nice. Learned that night that Kevin Knight likes Osmos. Shout out to Kevin Knight. Great shawarma place, that Osmos. So, Tommy Dreamer, one point you come and sit down next to me and we start having a chat during a PCO match. And he says, man, that guy really goes hard, doesn't he? And I said, yeah. Have you ever told him, like, just to chill out and maybe be careful? And Tommy says to me, Joel, I'm 56 years old. I got over by doing exactly the things that PCO is doing right now. It would look really silly for me to tell him the same things that I did to not do. And I said, that's fair, Tommy. You're a good man. Tommy Dreamer, don't fuck me this weekend. I've told people, many people, that if Mike Santana doesn't win the TNA World Championship at this event, which, by the way, I've been talking about Mike Santana winning this championship since the beginning of this year, if not earlier. And you can clock me on that. I've been saying it. If you don't do this, I have. God damn it, I have. If you don't do this for me, and you're doing it in the worst way possible, this triple threat business, we got to talk about that. Let's talk about it. And then we don't talk about it because that's what your champion currently does. Thomas, I don't want to quit my job. I like my job. I like Cresta. I like talking about TNA. I like being the person who knows more about TNA than most people who talk about TNA. That being said, I do like having my Thursdays off. So do the right thing, Tommy. Let Santana win. He should be winning. You can't give that man so much shine and then let him down like this. And if you do, I'm coming to Edmonton. I will show up at Victory Road. I will get a first-class ticket. I'll talk to AJ Francis, and I will come after you. Not the way that you were going to come after, Paul Heyman at WrestleMania 2001. Not that. That's illegal. I can't do that. Instead, I'll come at you and I will berate you, and I'll remind you of our PCO talk. Don't fuck me, Tommy Dreamer. Do the right thing on Sunday.
At least take him out for dinner first.
It'd be very expensive by his own account.
As you should, because you're about to fuck me with no lube, pal. So
no lube.
At least let me get a Shatterbrand steak, and I want the garlic butter with bone marrow.
I am hoping that Joe Pearl is right and that we see Mike Santana win the big one. I think we're all hoping that. But then me and Cresta are also like, we know TNA too well. All right, but
it is miserable to think that AJ Styles is enough to make up for what you might do to your championship scene and what you might do to a guy that is that is credibly your next world champion. If you think AJ Styles making an appearance is enough, you got another thing coming. There will be people on your neck, not just me, talking about it.
When you put
like,
it
that's
like that,
enough.
Joel, no, literally, it's kind of like, yo. A federal investigation. We have CM Punk. What are you talking about? We have CM Punk. You guys like CM Punk?
Yeah.
You're mad. You're mad. Joe Hendry lost to Randy Orton, and we're about to drop. Yo, I heard y'all like Sailor Moon. Look at the Sailor Moon wallet. Ooh, shiny Sailor Moon. I like Sailor Moon.
Basically TNA right there. But yes, we've made it to the end of this preview, so I gotta thank the TNA experts, the TNA Impact Fightful post-show host Cresta, Starr, and Joel Pearl. I always have fun talking to both of you about pro wrestling, especially TNA wrestling. So make sure you go over the Fightful's main channel, subscribe over there, hit the bell, and watch them every Thursday following TNA Impact. I always watch it after I'm done watching the show as well, because I support my friends, unlike Joel. But
only so many hours in the day, pal.
Cresta, we're going to let ladies go first. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they shall see you again.
Alleged lady. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and anyone who identifies in between, tomorrow I will be live for the Collision post show with myself and Rick and Iridian, or some combination, because I don't know who's showing up to work and who's not. Every Thursday, myself and the lovely Joel Pearl, which you just saw on the screen, we go over all things TNA. Sometimes SP3 is there. TNA is like our substitute brother, and if Joel Pearl quits, maybe he might have Joel's job. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. You can find me on all forms of social media at Cresta Starr, CRESTA STARR, except for Twitter, X. It's Cresta the Star, like Megan the Stallion, because Twitter is the suck. Your butt looks nice. I hope you find $20 on the floor. And remember, if you can't do it, shit.
And Joel Pearl, despite me giving you a hard time all the time, you know I love you. You are the Crips' favorite Canadian. Let the people know where they can find you.
Very easy to find at Joel Pearl on some socials, thejoelpearl.com, on Blue Sky. Yes, I use Blue Sky. If you don't like it, TFB. I am in the weeds Monday, Wednesday, and Friday over on Fightful Overbooked. I was about to say our sister channel, but this is True Heel Heat, and I come here for stuff like this. But at my home is Fightful, and that's Fightful Overbooked, where you can get in the weeds Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm on the shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday. SP3's on the show on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Jeremy Lambert, for some reason, is a crazy person and does all 5 days. I'm also doing the post-show with TNA with Cresta Starr. Will that still exist after next Thursday? Who knows? It's up to you, Tommy Dreamer. It's up to you. Don't fuck me. And also, I'm looking up flights right now. Toronto to Edmonton. That's where I'm at. If I want to go for Victory Road, currently the round trip cost about $200. It's not bad. And if I have to go, well, y'all can fund me by giving me money. And there's a PayPal somewhere on my socials. So if you want to fund me going and tracking down Thomas Dreamer and giving him a piece of my mind in person, that's how you do it.
That was great. That was a great
dedicated right one Thomas Dreamer. I live
one Thomas Dreamer. Oh, but thank you so much, guys. I appreciate y'all in the chat as well. We got Fred B Jams, who says just found y'all and I subscribes. A good show. Thank you so much, Fred B Jams, and join us tomorrow. I'll be live here with the True Heel Heat flagship podcast at 10:05 a.m. Eastern time, talking everything from pro wrestling this week with All In and WWE's weekend in Atlanta. So you could join me, Miss Chrissy Love, and the True Jaw Josh tomorrow. You can find me on the Twitter machine at True Hill SP3. Follow the gang Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat. TNA Slammiversary is not the only thing happening this weekend. We also did an NJPW G1 Climax 35 preview with the tournament starting on Saturday. So go over and check that out. Check out AE Ramble with Jimmy Macaram, who was in the chat harassing people, but he is here every Thursday with us reviewing AEW Dynamite. So go over and check that out, and check out our NXT The Great American Bash review, which, yes, I reviewed a contract signing for this show. Cresta, thank you so much. Joel, thank you so much. And thank you to all of you. Like this video, comment down below, and give us your predictions. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. This has been our TNA Slammiversary 2025 preview. We are signing off until next time.